Kia ora koutou katoa nau mai hara mai ki te ao Hākinakina. Welcome whānau to our Te Ao Hākinakina sports show right here on your Tribal Pulse. Te Korimako Taranaki 94.8 FM and 98.4 FM. Well, I know we're going to have an awesome kōrero on the show this week about the up-and-coming Taranaki Whānui Māori Rugby League tournament. Now, the Māori Rugby League tournament is in its 10th year, 10th anniversary this year, so special celebrations for the tournament, and we wanted to have a little bit of a kōrero about three things to do with the tournament. Firstly, just the history of the tournament. Secondly, the plans for the tournament this year, and also the plans for the anniversary, 10th anniversary, which is coming up in about 4 weeks or so. So first and foremost, the Taranaki Whānui Māori Rugby League tournament started back in 2015 by a group of keen and enthusiastic people who were keen to see our iwi come together in 1 weekend a year just to firstly celebrate being Māori and obviously play the great game that they love and represent their iwi with pride, their whānau with pride. And so a committee was kind of formed at that time. And back in 2015, Rahotū was the chosen venue for that first tournament. 8 teams entered that tournament back in Rahotū in 2015. And it was an outstanding tournament played over 2 days. Some really special moments, throughout the tournament. There was Ngāti Tama, Ngāti Mutunga, Te Atiawa, Pukeariki, Taranaki Tūturu, Ngā Ruahine, Ngāti Ruanui, and Ngaere. Now those teams all participated and were aiming to win the taonga that year. Ngāti Tama was successful back in 2015, defeating Ngā Ruahine in a really, really close match, a drop kick to win the game in that final. Some fond memories of that final back in 2015, and I think Ngā Ruahine might have just pipped Te Atiawa in the semi-final as well. So some awesome memories. It was a great tournament, so much so that the tournament just grew from strength to strength from that year onwards. In 2016, the holders of the taonga Ngāti Tama hosted the tournament in Bell Block in Puketapu, and that was a one-day tournament. That one. A one-day tournament, and teams played 4 to 5 games in 1 day, which was a real push out there, but another amazing tournament that went down to the wire as well. I know Ngāti Tama and Te Atiawa had a close pool match, but it was Te Atiawa that got through to the final after defeating Ngā Ruahine in the semi-final. I think it may have been Bronx Lewis with the try to win the game after Ngā Ruahine were up quite a bit over Te Atiawa at half-time, but Te Atiawa come back to make it through to the final and win that grand final against Ngāti Tama, I believe it was. So Te Atiawa won in year 2, 2016. And then from there, they went down to Manaia. Manaia was the next to host the tournament. Ngā Ruahine hosted the tournament down there, and another outstanding tournament that's seen the inclusion of Ngāti Maru. Ngāti Maru added their team into the mix and actually got the win. They won that tournament. Ngāti Maru had a fine performance throughout that whole weekend, defeating Ngā Ruahine in the final. That was an outstanding tournament down there in Manaia. And then we went off to Tikorangi. So Tikorangi was in 2018. Te Atiawa hosted that tournament out of Tikorangi. And that was another amazing tournament as well that seeing Ngāti Tama win once again. They played Taranaki Tūturu in the final. And that was a really, really awesome tournament. I think Te Atiawa may have had 2 teams in that tournament. And Ngārotu started playing in the tournament. I think it was either Manaia or Tikorangi where they joined the competition as well, which was awesome. And so, yeah, had an awesome tournament there in Tikorangi. And then we went down to Hāwera the following year, Ngāti Ruanui, who've been in every tournament since the start, hosted down there in Te Hāwera. And that was an amazing tournament down there in Te Hāwera. Ngā Ruahine winning that tournament, defeating, I think they may have played Ngā Ruahine in the final, Taranaki Tūturu in the final. An outstanding tournament down there in Te Hāwera, hosted by Ngāti Ruanui. And then after that, we in 2020 we ended up in Pukeariki at Tukapa, and that was probably one of the bigger tournaments of the last 10 years, with a huge crowd there to come and support that kaupapa there as well. And during, at the Hāwera tournament, Ngāti Ruanui, Ngā Ruahine put wahine teams in, so wahine teams were introduced. And then in 2020 at Tukapa, there was Taranaki Tūturu joined the mix with the wahine space as well. So in Tukapa, that was another awesome final. Taranaki Tūturu once again into the final, but unfortunately got defeated by Ngāti Tama, a fine Ngāti Tama team who had an awesome team that year to win that competition in Tukapa. And then there was a gap year in 2021 was COVID, and so there was a bit of a break. And then we were back at Tikorangi again, this time hosted by Ngāti Mutunga, who were outstanding at that tournament. I still remember the semi-final, Ngāti Mutunga and Ngāti Ruanui on field 2 was probably the best game I've seen at the tournament in the last 10 years, an absolutely outstanding game. And as was the final, Ngāti Mutunga against their cousins in Te Atiawa. Te Atiawa just getting home in that grand final pretty much just before full time in Tikorangi there. Then we went down to Waverley, and beautiful to get down to Ngārotu after years of Ngārotu travelling up. We went down there to Waverley, Wairuaiti, and it was a beautiful weekend down there, hosted by our Ngārotu Whānau, and that was an awesome tournament as well. Te Atiawa winning that once again. We had a few issues with the fields. A few of the horses had got into one of the other paddocks, so we just had to use the one field, which was interesting, but we made it work. And it was awesome down there. And then after Waverley, we headed to Ngāti Maru in 2024 last year, and that was an outstanding tournament out there in Kohanga Moa. And good to have Ngāti Maru in the fold playing in the tournament. And Te Atiawa once again got the win in that tournament, defeating Ngāti Ruanui. So Ngāti Ruanui and Te Atiawa have played in the finals the last 2 years in Waverley and Inglewood, with Te Atiawa coming away with it, but Ngāti Ruanui just getting better and better every single year. And that's where we end up now. We're back at the start in Rahotū in Taranaki Tūturu country for 2025. Make sure to stay tuned with us, Whānau. We're going to be back shortly to talk about this year's tournament and some of the cool things that are in plan in the coming weeks for that tournament. Welcome back, Whānau. Welcome back to Te Ao Hākinakina, your sports show right here on your Tribal Pulse, Te Kore Mako or Taranaki 94.8 FM and 98.4 FM. Well, we're talking about the Taranaki Whānui Māori Rugby League tournament, Whānau. We've just given a little bit of history, a very quick history on the last 10 years and the different venues that we've been out and the different hosts from our various iwi. And we also talked about the growth of the tournament. So back in Te Hāwera, back in 2019, we've seen the introduction of wahine teams, and that's grown from 2 teams up to 5 teams this year in 2025. So that's been a great inclusion into the tournament, as has been the Masters. The Masters joined last year in Kohanga Moa in Inglewood, and this year we have 3 Masters teams, which is awesome too. And there's also another inclusion this year, Whānau, rangatahi. So we're looking at succession. Some of these old fellas back in 2015, when it first started, are a bit past their prime now. And so they step up into the Masters, and it's all about succession and bringing our rangatahi through. And so we have the inclusion of rangatahi teams this year. An under-14s game on the Friday night, Whānau. So the Friday night goes to 3 days now, the tournament. We start on a Friday afternoon with a Port Whitty at 4:30, followed by the under-14s game between Ngā Ruahine and Te Atiawa at 6 p.m. on Friday night at Rahotū Domain, followed by the under-16s game, which will be at 7:30 p.m., and that's between Taranaki Tūturu, the hosts, and Ngā Ruahine. So looking forward to that, the inclusion of our rangatahi into this prestigious tournament. Now, over those years, we've also had our haka winners, haka taonga, throughout those tournaments, and there's been some amazing haka whānau right throughout these tournaments, and it's great to see all those tamariki and those rangatahi who have followed their uncles, their papa, their koros, all through this tournament, now stepping into that rangatahi and tāne space and wahine space you know, where their uncles and mums and dads once were. So looking forward to the haka, or the various haka that are going to be held at the tournament this year. Also, some beautiful taonga have been carved over the many years. There's a large array of taonga now. We started off with just a couple, but those taonga have since grown. And the tournament wouldn't have been possible without the sponsors and funders who have helped support the tournament over the years. The likes of Bennett Enterprises, Toy Foundation, PKW, and the likes have just been absolutely amazing in supporting the kaupapa, the volunteers, the officials. Our referees have travelled from all over the country over many years, and they continue to do so. In particular, our Manawatu referees for their unreal support over many, many years. Our admin staff, our kaimahi that do all the catering. There's just been so many people that have helped the tournament over many, many years. Now, this year, whānau, we're holding the tournament on the 10th, 11th and 12th of October at Rahotū Domain. So as mentioned earlier, the pōtiri will start on Friday afternoon at 4:30, followed by a couple of rangatahi games. On the Saturday, games will kick off at 10 a.m. whānau. They'll kick off at 10 a.m. and they'll run through to 5 p.m. on the Saturday afternoon. Now, on the Saturday, we have our tāne, our wahine, and our masters playing on the Saturday. There'll be a prize giving on the Friday night for the rangatahi, and then a prize giving on the Saturday afternoon for the masters. And then Sunday will start at 10 a.m. and that'll go through to about 3 or 4 p.m. on the Sunday, where we'll hold the prize giving for the tāne and the wahine. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a hell of a weekend. We have about 7 or 8 food stores on the weekend whānau. We have multiple other stores, clothing stores. Some of our iwi stores will be there. Plenty of parking. There's a tamariki zone this year whānau. We're also looking at implementing a sprint race and a mass haka as well. Yet to be confirmed, but that's one of the inclusions of this year's tournament as well. So looking forward to that at Saturday lunchtime. And the Rahotū Domain, for those that haven't been there, great venue, plenty of changing rooms, plenty of showers, and just a great facility. We'll have the live stream going inside as well. We'll have our amazing partners, Te Koremako or Taranaki, who do amazing live stream, so that all of our whānau all across the motu, here in Aotearoa and across in Te Whenua Moemoeā, Australia, and around the world can tune in and support their whānau who are playing for their relevant iwi. So really excited about the tournament this year, whānau. Make sure you put it into your calendars. We have 21 teams, whānau. So the tournament has grown from 8 teams back in 2015 to 21 teams this year. We have 9 tāne teams, 5 wahine teams, 3 masters teams, and 4 rangatahi teams. So absolutely outstanding representation of all of our iwi from around the maunga. So it's looking really, really, really good. Who you picking, whānau? Who you picking? Will it be Te Atiawa? Will they go again? They've won 3 in a row now. So will they go again, or will it be someone else? Ngāti Tama's back in the fold. Ngāti Ruanui are knocking on the door. Ngā Ruahine are always tough, as is Taranaki Tūturu being at home. Ngā Rauru as well. Ngāti Maru in the mix, and the mighty Ngāti Mutunga. So it's going to be an absolutely outstanding tournament, and we cannot forget Pukeariki, the boys from town Pukeariki. And in our wahine grade whānau, we have Taranaki Tūturu, the hosts. We have Ngā Ruahine. We have Ngāti Ruanui this year whānau, which is awesome. We also have Te Atiawa, and we have Ngāti Mutunga. So that's in the women's grade. And then in the masters, we have Ngā Ruahine, Taranaki Tūturu, and also Aotea in the masters grade. So really looking forward to that, whānau. We'll make sure to stay tuned. We're going to come back shortly with some information about the 10-year anniversary celebration dinner, which is held on the 17th of October at the Devon Hotel. It's going to be a ripper. Make sure you stay tuned. Welcome back, whānau. Welcome back to Te Ao Hākinakina. We are talking about the Taranaki Whānui Māori Rugby League tournament, whānau, and it's in its 10th year this year. So the 10-year anniversary is happening this year. We've spoken about the history, the memories of those first 10 years. We've also spoken about the tournament and all the finer details of the tournament that is coming up on the 10th, 11th, and 12th of October. And now we're going to cordial to the special celebration that is 10 years for this tournament. and the celebrationary dinner that is going to be held at the Devon Hotel on the 17th of October from 6 p.m. till about 11:30, midnight, around about that time. Now, this celebrationary dinner's come about after plenty of kōrero about the memories, the memories of the last 10 years and all the wins and all the growth that's happened within that 10 years. And that the celebrationary dinner is basically an opportunity for all of those that have been an integral part of that last 10 years to come together, to let their hair down, to celebrate, to remember those awesome memories, to remember those that have passed before us, some of those key people that have been a part of this tournament, the Georgina Lukes, the Paulie Tutas, Mike Cartiner, BJ Hitzit, all these people that have just played an integral part of this tournament over many years. It's a time to honor them. It's a time to remember them, and it's a time to remember all these amazing memories that have been left with us over the last 10 years. So the dinner is going to be amazing, whānau. Make sure you book your tickets. If you go to the Taranaki Whānui Māori Rugby League page, have a look on there. The tickets are on there. There's a link that you can go to, an Eventbrite ticket link. It's $80, whānau, $80, but that gets you a 3-course meal. We have guest speakers. We'll also be naming teams of the decade. So a Tāne team of the decade, a Wahine team of the decade, coach of the decade, manager of the decade, match manager of the decade, referee and touch judge of the decade as well as some honorary rewards, some honorary awards on the night as well. So it's going to be a fantastic night with the guest speakers there. I know we're hoping to get representation from all of our iwi there to celebrate the night. Now, just for those listeners at home that want to know, how does the team of the decade work? How does that get picked? So basically, back from 2015, a tournament team has been named every year. So basically what happens is there's a collation of points. So if you made the tournament team, you get 1 point. If you got the best back or best forward of the tournament, you get 1.5 points. And if you got player of the tournament, you get 2 points. Now, all these points are calculated up. And after this year's tournament, they'll be calculated up. And that will determine our tournament team of the decade for the last 10 years, for our Tāne and for our Wahine. So really looking forward to that. It's going to be like the Daily M's. If anyone's watched the Daily M Awards on TV, very similar to that. We'll count that down. We'll have videos of some of those memories of the tournaments in the past, and then we'll count that down and name our team of the decade for the Tāne and for the Wahine. So it's going to be a great night, whānau. We got a band. We got an awesome band, the Groove Hut, coming to jam on the night. So make sure you get your tickets, whānau. It's once every 10 years that this type of stuff happens. You will not regret it. You'll have a great night. And there's limited ticket sales too, whānau, so make sure you get in and book in soon. We just want to mention as well that the tournament in Rahotū is auahi kore and alcohol-free, whānau. This is a whānau event. It's no place for smoking or for alcohol. And if you want to do that, maybe it might be best to go to somewhere else to do that. But yeah, that's a bit of information on the Taranaki Whānui Māori Rugby League tournament on the 10th, 11th, and 12th of October, as well as the anniversary dinner on the 17th of October. Make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you rally up your whānau. Put your iwi colours on. Get down there and tautoko and support. And for more information, check out the Taranaki Whānui Facebook page for more information. Well, that's us, whānau. Over and out. Hope you enjoyed all the info with what's coming up. We'll be back very shortly with our latest news and also some pānui for our whānau for the sports that's coming up in the next week or so. Kia ora tātou.